are live, if I'm correct. Oh. Just 1 second. There we go. So welcome guys, welcome back to the first division here. It's my first time on the first division, so I will have a check during the race on the standings and everything, because I need to get used to it. I'm taking over tonight as there's no one else available. I might be there tomorrow, but I might take a free time off as someone else will do it for the championship, my weekly commentating job, I could say. But yeah, I'm here tonight for the sprint, so at least there is a stream, and we will start with it immediately. So in the meantime, I will have a look at the first division standings in the championship. So I think most are familiar, but Matty is leading by 2 points ahead of Danos, and then it's Goran Potner in P3 and Richie in P4. So Richie is not that far off. Sabiake, who has just joined us in the chat, is in P5 in the standings, and then both McLarens of Snellenk and Smithy. Then Simvo in P8, Rusty Orkan in P9, and Leaky is in P10. And let's see, I think that's the top 10 there for you. I will have a quick look at the constructors as well before we start. As Aston Martin is leading ahead of Mercedes, and then closely followed by Haas, and then a big gap to Ferrari as Richie has to do it on his own tonight. Unfortunately, Mighty Fax couldn't be there, and then it's a bit of a midfield battle between Ferrari and McLaren, and then behind that we got Red Bull in P6, Alfa Romeo in P7, and AlphaTauri in P8, and then a fight at the back with only separated by 4 points between Alpine and the Williams team. So welcome everyone in the chat, and Kieran is in the chat. Good luck to Inorganic, Callum and McLaren. So I think that's 4 different drivers, you could say. And as we're waiting for players, I'm not sure what's happening. Oh yeah, they're clicking the they're waiting with readying up, of course, for the setup. At least I hope that's the case. And hello Volcano in the chat. Let's go Haas. They released their new livery for this season, and I do have to say it looks nice, but I have to get used to it. I think it's not too bad, but yeah, we will see how it looks on track. But in the meantime, we're waiting for everyone. I will have a quick look if everything is alright. Oh no, that's just something else. Oh, it starts. So they just took the time to get the setups, of course. No qualifying. We start with a sprint, a reversed championship sprint. I don't know what the attendance was. I think it was quite high, so that's good to see. But yeah, Callum, I can see on the screen, has joined the Red Bull, and he is fairly new, I think. So that's interesting to see what he can do. And I think we first have a formation lap. Yeah, as Callum is on pole position, of course, he's quite new, and Inorganic is in P2. So Kieran got 2 of his, I think it's his dad, no? And I think it's his brother, as both Aston Martins have been disqualified. Let's see the tire strategy, and Matty is taking the softs, which is interesting. Oh, as someone's gone completely wide there. But yeah, bold strategy from our championship leader. He's already in last, so it doesn't really matter what he's doing. Glitch with the Aston Martin, so no temperature for them in the tires, which will be very annoying at the start of the race. But let's see, Red Bulls are starting quite high on the grid for the sprint. We do have points available. But we see two Haas drivers. But a very close championship fight it is between the bottom 4 of the sprint. 9 laps on the Silverstone circuit, the classic circuit, and it's a great venue for a sprint. I think it is. We've got the new season calendar, season 6, so I have to check. I unfortunately can't show you on the screen like some of these streamers do because I don't have a PC for that. But yeah, we do have another sprint in Silverstone in the next season, so that is quite fun. We do have sprints in Austria, in Monza, in Saudi Arabia, and in Hungary as well. So some good sprint tracks. I really enjoy these calendar, and Zandvoort is finally on it. But it is a very good calendar. Now we switch back to the grid as the cars are approaching their grid slots. Beautiful parking there. And that's a Mercedes. It's sinful. Yeah, he's disqualified. That's unfortunate. You start, as you can see, a bit further down. Oh, Richie is also disqualified. The tables are screwing up. We have to wait for the lights. Do I get a better view? I can't really see it, but they are off. Let's see if it switches. There we go. I have to stick with Jones into turn 1. Oh, it looks like he got tapped brown, but he didn't. Is everything alright behind? Oh, it's a collision between the Aston Martin and it's Goran Putner in the wall at the restart, and that seems like someone else has dropped some positions. We got a fight between Rosenberg and Jones. Jones stays ahead. Then both Alfa Romeos following behind. A good start from Danos. And Sinfos looking up the inside. Ooh, and Rosenberg has lost some positions. But Inorganic has retaken the position of Ivar. But Callum is gone in the lead. 1.8 seconds. Oh, it's a yellow flag and it's the other Alfa Aston Martin, so a terrible start for the Aston Martin team in the sprint. Luckily it's only the sprint, so still points available, and there's Sinful around the outside of Maggots and Beckets, but now Richie's behind. So he did have a good start. So he's stuck in this fight between the Mercedes drivers, and Matty is at the back of this as well. Up the inside, Sinful on Spivey, good move. And the Mercedes driver moves up a position. And Callum sets the fastest lap, and now the championship rivals are right next to each other. I can't really see anything. Oh, it's a collision between Danos and Matty, and Danos is into the wall in the sprint. So collision between the championship rivals in this sprint. And now Richie up the inside of Spivey for P8 as Sinful moves up a position on Rosenberg. And Richie is up to P8, I think. Oh, Rosenberg, does he have damage? No, he just seems a bit slow. My tables are screwing up. For the timing, at least. Oh, and Rosenberg is losing another position. So Richie's up to P7 then. And he could score some points in the sprint while his rivals are down the grid. Oh, and then spins again just as I switch to him. But we will switch to the front then. Inorganic still in P2. And I don't know how many points he has, but he's looking good at points right now. I'll have a quick look we need to keep an eye on the fight behind. Let's see, Rusty is close. But so is Matt. Matty. Oh, I need to do a lot of things when I'm on my own. I hope I can keep an eye out on what's happening. As a yellow flag, it's Danos again. There's the championship. Inorganic has 46 points. So he could do well here as Ivor and Jones fighting for the sprint. Oh, Ivor's into the wall. I think it was a collision again. But there are some free positions as Richie moves up to P6 and Sinful up to P5. And Matty is now in P8. But Ivor dropped it, unfortunately, and Danos is in. I'm not sure if he has wing damage, he's just in. Now Rusty in the battle with Jones. Is ghosting on? I don't know. It might be. Oh, as Matty goes for a move. He tries around the outside, he doesn't work, but he has better traction on the soft tires. And now around the outside into Cops. And he's still ahead, or he is ahead. And Leaky and Snalenk are fighting. I'm not sure if ghosting is on, but surely hope it's not. But I'm not sure. As there's a fight for P3 in the sprint here. And Sinful up the inside for P4. And he moves up into P4. And can Rusty fight back? No, he does not fight back. Watch out, Richie, that's the curb. I will have a quick look at the position change. Can I do that? Yeah, so Matty up 8. Richie up 6. Oh, it's a yellow flag. It's not one of these guys, but Spivey is losing some positions there. But I think it's Danos. Oh, I have a 5 second speeding in the pit lane. But Jones moved up and Sinful already up 5 positions then from the start. As Rusty's also moved up 3. Richie 6. And Matty 8. Richie now at the back of the... on the back of Rusty. And Rusty is in the points. Callum is looking strong here. He's 3.6 second gap already. I'm not sure what his previous results were. I have to check in the break. But Leaky fighting with Snalenk then for P9. Snalenk not going for it. Oh, Razorbic picks up a penalty then. We will switch to this fight, or is Sinful going for it? Sinful might go for it on P3 here. Sinful has some great pace in the Mercedes fighting the Red Bull. Oh, Danos retired. That's in the pit lane. Sinful around the outside. What a move. Can he hold on? It seems like he can hold on. And who has the better exit then? Can Jones move up the inside? That's a risky move. Ooh. I wouldn't have done that. But that's fortunately no contact. Leaky now moving up into P8. So Haas in P7 and 8. Oh, as Leaky is dropped back. I'm not sure what's happening here. It's a big fight between Razorbic. Oh, and he hits the back of Snalenk. Snalenk is... Oh, and yeah, ghosting is on, unfortunately, there. Confirmed. Sabiaka is overtaking again, and Snalenk is dropping. But that's, yeah, not what was supposed to happen, the ghosting. But it is what it is then. I think you can't change it in between the sprint and the main race. But a big fight for P3, but it seems like Sinful has gone and... Oh, and Sabiaka has dropped it again just as he overtook Snalenk there. And again, a great pace from him. Still holding on to the P2. Now Jones behind Sinful and Rusty, and then Richie. Can Richie take away that P5? He's up the inside. Ooh, on the curbs. And that was a close one. But yeah, P5 is 2 points and P6 is 0 points. So Richie might want to take the points, as he is still in this championship fight. I mean, there's only 3 rounds, including this one, left. But he is mathematically still in this. And with a bit of bad luck from guys like Danos and Goran Potner, or maybe even Matty, he could close in the championship. And Richie has some great pace, I know that. Oh, it is Leaky overtaking Razorbeach again. Razorbeach dropping down to P9 and might even drop down to P10 with his time penalty then. Let's switch to this fight between these 4 cars. Rusty holding on, but Sinful up 6 positions from P9. That's a good result from him. Let's see. Sinful has a lot of ERS as well, which might help him, but here's Jones. Jones will go up the inside. No, he stays behind. Oh, and Richie's also looking up the inside. He will go up the inside for this corner then. Into the chicane. Is he ahead? It seems ahead, but yep, Richie takes P5 then. And I'm seeing Callum could get his first win. Although it's a sprint win, it's still a win. And he could take that. And good evening to Mr. Packer. And nope, I have no problem with filling in. I enjoy watching the sprints. But now Richie up to P5 in the points positions. But these guys are also in the points positions. So this is 4 points and Sinful has 6 points, but Callum could get 10 points already here. And Inorganic could take 8, which are some decent points. Considering he scored 46 points in the first 9 rounds. The question is, can Sinful hold on? No points for fastest lap or pole position. Still 2 laps remaining after this one. Yeah, that's what I'm saying, Ixie. I think Inorganic really has got some pace here in P2, because he doesn't seem to be challenged from behind that much. From the beginning of the race he's in P2 and then he stayed there. Question is, can Richie attack or can Sinful hold on? Sinful has a lot more ERS than the guys behind him, and Rusty can't really hold on. Now Matty or Leaky behind his teammate Matty, but will Leaky overtake him? I'm not sure, but Matty is on the soft tires, so the soft tires will probably wear out right now. Yeah, it's a big, I think if I'm correct, it's Callum and Inorganic are family from each other, and I'm guessing Kieran is as well, and then I might be wrong here, but Hixie is family. Little RPM family here. Or the whole family is racing. Can Sinful hold on? It does seem like he can hold on, but Jones doesn't have any ERS to attack. But he will have the DRS to defend. But he seems to be struggling now, as Richie is getting closer and closer. Who has the better straight line speed? Can't really see. I think Sinful will hold on to that P3. Inorganic is Callum and Kieran's dad. I'm the cousin. So yeah, it is a big family then. So father and son in P1 and P2. And that's very interesting. I mean, I'm raced with my brother, and I tried my father to have a race at here at Silverstone, and I do have to say he was around 12 seconds of or 10 seconds of the pace, but with a little practice he might get close. But it shows how good Inorganic is, maybe battling with his sons. Ooh, the battle is getting close here at the back. Oh, Jones bit on the grass. Richie fastest sector 1 of the race. Oh, it's getting closer on the final lap. Leaky is also close behind his teammate. We will follow that at the end then. Can Richie overtake. Jones in the end. Doesn't seem like it, although I might be wrong. Will he go for a dive? I don't think he will. Or is he going? Oh, I need to switch to Callum as well. Yeah, I think. Yeah, it will be behind. So Callum in the final corner in the sprint, very well deserved. Takes the win in the sprint race and will start on pole position. And Inorganic finishes in P2 and Sinful finishes in P3, followed by Jones and Richie. Look how close it is. There, the point score is 10, 8, 6, 4 and 2. It's Rusty in P6. Matty, the championship leader, comes home in P7 on those soft tires ahead of his teammate Leaky in P8. It is Spivey in P9, Snelle Henk in P10. Razorbeertje with that penalty drops down to P11. It's Sabiaka in the Aston Martin in P12. It is Goran Potner who will probably finish P13 with Ivor in P14 and Danos starting last. So yeah, currently the number 2 in the championship is starting last. The championship leader is starting in P7. Little practice. Little practice and we could see you here in the first division maybe. But with the new assist rules next season, it will be difficult. You never know. I will have to get used to the no line. So the final results then of the sprint, as you can see on the screen, and the Aston Martin starting further down the grid, with one Mercedes starting quite high on the grid. Yeah, championship leaders did have a nice sprint, but although 2 didn't have the best of sprints. Oh, is it rain or is it just shadow? It almost looks like it's raining, but it might just be my screen. And Callum is in the chat. Yeah. Let's hope you can do it again for the first win I can get the season results here. Wait. Results summary. There we go. So Callum, his first race was in China, which was a P11, and right now that means he got 6 points, if I'm seeing that correct. Yeah, he's got 6 points, and he now scored 10 in the sprint, so it's already more than he had in the last race. Inorganic with that 8 points currently is equal on points with Ivor for P15 and only 7 points behind the Mighty Frags. Jones picked up some sprint points, gets him closer to the top 10. Let's see a big championship fight in the middle with Smythe got 119 points in P7. We got Sinful in 8 with 106. He will pick up 6 points, so moves to 112. Rusty Orkan has 102 and Leaky 101. So very close behind each other there. Richie picks up 2 points, closes the gap down to 22 points to top 3 with Goran Potner, and he was 41 points behind. He's now 39 points behind. So still in this fight, and with a good result. Maybe today, I mean, we've seen his pace, he could get closer and closer in the championship fight. And the last race is Imola, the home circuit of Ferrari. So could we see Richie get away with the title though? That would be the ultimate dream for Ferrari and for him, I mean. Or just get top 3 first, but we will have to see. Let's see at the tires. Oh, I'm messing up. So, Sinful on the hards, interesting. Everyone else on mediums, and Sabiaka has gone to the softs. It says rain all race, so maybe we'll see some changeable conditions. Ooh, interesting. Yeah, I can't see the test unfortunately, because with the sprints it doesn't work. It only works for the sprint, but then yeah, afterwards I can't really see. So yeah, but I will trust you. Hello Spritzy, welcome to the chat. Yeah, Callum is his tires will cool down a lot. Let me look at where the rest of the grid is. The nerves are starting to get to him. Maybe he wants to start as quickly as possible. Yeah, I think the weather is not really accurate in online lobbies. Or it could be, but then if it's set for all race, it should have rained right now, but it doesn't. So we will see if it will rain, and it will be very interesting if it does. The cloud is looking a bit grey. I said it before the session. Yes, that is playing mind games. That could be the case as well. I mean, it's still a fight. But let's see. My tables are screwing up. We will just have to give them this view for now. As the lights are off. And everyone else has a good start. It's getting close. Ooh, the Alfa Romeo. What a start. Up the inside into P3. Oh, Inorganic is gone. Inorganic has spun after a good sprint. And he's dropped down to the back of the grid. Ooh, getting close here. But Callum is gone. Rusty up to P2 then. From P6. Richie is dropping back. I think he's been hit, but it is. And Haas. Oh, there's a lot happening here. Haas has been collected. Does he have wing damage? It's leaky. It's the other Haas. But look at this fighting then. Between Richie and Stella Henk. Stella Henk still holding on. No, Richie is ahead. Do we see some wing damage behind? We don't really see anything. The leaky will drop down. Spivey didn't have the best of starts. And Inorganic dropped down to P15 unfortunately. Still points though. But now Jones with a good start as well. Oh, we see Danos and Zabiaka fighting. Zabiaka is losing some positions, I think. But then, let's see behind here. Oh, it's a change for P2. As Jones moves up to P2, question mark, I can't really see it. Rusty up the inside. And Jones stays ahead. Callum sets the fastest lap of the race. As things are starting to settle down. Stella Henk is up to P6. And Matty is now in P7. Goran Partner in P8 behind. And then Daniel. So the top 3 right behind each other. And the number 5 is following them as well. So they might have collided. Father and son, as Richie moves up to P4 and Sinful is on the harder tire, so I think he's struggling a bit with the grip difference, which is not surprising, of course. But there might have been a collision. Yeah, the championship battle is on. Big start for Dennis and Corin. They did from P15 and 13 to P8 and 9. But there might have been a collision between Callum and his father. Still, Inorganic showed pace, so he can fight back. And we are only on lap 2. Jones runs a bit wide, but he stays ahead. No DRS just yet. But here's the fight for the championship maybe as well. Matty needs to get past, or his rivals will be running behind him. Already seen contact between Danos and Matty in the sprint. Callum puts another fast lap, but Jones is catching as he sets the fastest lap. Will Matty overtake or will he stay behind for the DRS? He stays behind for the DRS. Close battle behind. Leaky continued on with wing damage. Interesting. Matty is closing in with the DRS, but it's not enough. Richie is caught up to the back of Rusty and Jones then. But it doesn't seem like Matty has great pace. But this is great for Richie if Matty, Goran Partner and Danos are stuck behind Snelle Henk. Because he will gain in the championship. And it looks like Richie is moving forward. He's used up quite some ERS up the inside of Rusty as Matty overtakes Snelle Henk and Danos overtakes Goran. And Danos moves up to P8 as Matty moves up to P6. And Matty can start chasing after Sinful and Richie. But Richie is closing in on Rusty. Rusty doesn't have the DRS. And Jones is slowly closing in on his teammate, as it's a Red Bull 1-2 currently. And I don't know where they are in the constructors. But I will switch to this POV then for a second. Richie stays behind, but Red Bull is in P6 with quite some gap ahead, so this could really help them get closer maybe to the top 5 in the constructors. But Richie is pushing behind Rusty. Snelle Henk still holds on to that P7, but the train is getting bigger and bigger behind. We got a little train forming as well. Inorganic already caught up to Spivey. Oh, as he runs a bit wide. But let's switch to Richie. Didn't have the best of exits there out of Maggots and Baggots. It is not enough as Xabiaka moves ahead of his teammate, but I mean he's on the soft, so I think a little bit of team orders there. But Sinful still on that hard tires, holding on, don't need to forget that. But the question is, when will Richie overtake? Because he can't sit behind for too long, because he's losing time to the leaders. And this is for a podium fight, of course. He was stuck behind Rusty in the sprint for a bit. Will he go for a move here? I would save the ERS here, because this straight is quite short. Oh, don't go up the inside there. That was a difficult place to go for a move. But Matty's caught up to Sinful, and this train is getting bigger and bigger. But Sabiaka is pushing on the soft tires behind. Richie is close, 0.2 of a second here. And he might overtake him, I think he will. But Rusty only 1.6 behind Jones, but here is Richie. The Ferrari driver moves up to P3 and onto the podium positions, and now he can chase after the Red Bulls. If he can stay ahead of Rusty for this part, but I think he will. And puts another car between him and his championship rivals. Ooh, Sabiaka getting close. Corin can't keep up with the pace. Ooh, Ivar almost lost it, same as Reusebeertje. Reusebeertje up the inside. Ooh, he's taking the curbs. Oh, Snelle Henk and Danos fighting. Now Danos is passed. And right behind his championship rival, Sabiaka now up the inside. And Snelle Henk has lost 2 positions already in the first 3 corners. Behind as well, Inorganic moved up to P14. And Richie for the win after rain. That would be amazing. I don't know if he has got any wins this season. I don't think he has. But yeah, Callum is doing pretty well. And he deserves. I mean, he's currently already been leading for 15 laps if you count the sprints. Sprint laps as well. Big fight behind then. For P12. Or P11 even. But if there is rain, when will the rain come? Ooh, Ivar takes a penalty. Richie already caught up to Jones. Oh, Reusebeertje off. As Matty overtakes Sinful, I think. Yeah, Matty's past Sinful. And he's behind Rusty now. Sinful is on the hard tires. We do not need to forget that. Richie catching the Red Bulls as he sets the fastest lap of the race. And Reusebeertje dropped down to P15 as Inorganic moves up to P13 then. Let's switch to the championship leader. Oh, and Danos overtakes his teammate. I think his teammates let him in past. So if Rusty can hold up Matt, Danos can get back on the championship rival. He's not losing too many places. Matty started P7 and Danos P15, and they're right behind each other after lap 7. And not in a bad position as well. Torpedo Richie. That's an interesting name. Oh, Sabiaka spun again on the soft tires. And that's not helping Aston Martin, so kind of lucky ghosting is on that part then. Oh, Ivar's letting him pass, but Leaky takes full opportunity of that. He takes the opportunity to overtake him. Now that's... I don't know why Ivar's letting him pass there. Because Sabiaka clearly spun. Oh, Sabiaka is close. Matty overtakes Rusty. I need to check a few things, but I'm keeping my eye on this fight for a minute. Sabiaka is going for an overtake on Leaky up the inside. And Inorganic is still behind him. But Sabiaka is going in, changing his tires, I think. But Matty's now up to P4. Right behind Richie. But Matty has got some pace here. But will Callum let Jones into the DRS zone to help Jones defend from Richie behind? We'll have to see. Currently isn't looking too good for the Aston Martin team in the championship fight. Jones in the DRS zone now. Callum's used a lot of ERS, but so did Jones. But this will help Jones defend. Which he does have some very decent pace. But can he get past the two Red Bulls? I'm pretty sure they're hurt. helping each other here. Or they're not helping at all. Daniels is close. Oh! Jones has spun! Jones has spun! One of the Red Bulls has spun and he drops down to P9. But that means that Richie's now up to P2 and he's right behind Callum for the lead. Matty moves up to P3. And Daniels is in P5. So after all, the championship leaders are getting close to the front, but can Callum hold on? He's 1.2 ahead. But it is difficult leading the race, I think, for the first time. And getting a big name like Richie and the championship leader Matty right behind you. Holding enough is difficult, but I got my first race win here in Silverstone, so I know how it feels. And we had a sprint back then, I think it was season 2, also at Silverstone, and that's where I won the race afterwards. So Callum can do the same. But will Richie spoil the party? He does have some decent pace. He's still pulling away as Daniels moves up to P4. And Daniels is making a good recovery. But we switch to the front then. Callum a bit wide into turn 1. Richie is close behind and has more ERS as well. Will this be the moment for Richie to take the lead? As Leaky is in. And switch back to the front. And this is the gap. Danos close behind Matty. Now, who is the praying mantis? I need to have some update on that. Is that Richie? Or did I miss something? Still hang behind Sinful, but we switch to Richie. Five tenths. Do we use the ERS? He sees the red light flashing, but it seems a bit too far. Oh yeah, it is Richie. Okay, we know that. I learned something new. Oh, he's gone up the inside here. No, he stays behind, but this is costing him a lot of time as Matty is going into the pit lane in lap 10. Now I don't know if that's early or not, but every lap these guys continue is a lap fresher, but the undercut could work then if Matty doesn't get into traffic. Ivor is going in again as well. A big undercut, yeah it is. I think it's a bit early to make the stop, but we will have to see. Yeah, lap 12, 11. That's what I was thinking, because I didn't expect him to go in that early. But yeah, we will have to wait for it. In the meantime, we switch back to the front. Stelenko's overtaking Sinful then, and Goran Partner is putting pressure on Sinful. Sinful still on the hard, so he will continue on for a few laps. But you should say that his tires will get better at around this point of the race, but it seems like he's still losing to the mediums. Switch to the front then. Richie 4 tenths closer than he was the lap before. Good exit using all of the ERS. Into... will he get up the inside? And he's passed. Richie's into the lead on lap 11. And they still continue for another lap. But Richie's moved up to the lead. Sinful re-overtaking there as someone's going in. It's Rusty's going in. Let's see where he will end up compared to Matty then. Goran Partner going in. But Richie now in the lead. And Callum unfortunately dropping down. Oh, Ivor picks up 3-second penalties. And he did overtake Richie for the lead. And he won. He is still in the championship fight, and you can see that in his racing. It's like we're getting the Richie from season 1 back where I used to race him. Oh, Stella Henk almost hitting the back of Sinful. But yeah, Rusty 2 are around 3 seconds behind Matty. Now I don't know how far he was behind on the beginning, but Thanos is closing in and Callum is dropped outside of the 1 second, so Richie already made sure he had that 1 second gap. And Thanos now has the DRS. But let's see. Well, Thanos is closing in rapidly and Callum is losing a lot of position. I think Callum will go in this lap. It is lap 12. Will Richie go in? Richie's going in. The leader is in. Callum will follow him and Dennis will follow him. So the top 3 are all going in. And where will they end up compared to Matty then? As Sinful continues on, obviously. Oh, we got a yellow. It is Sabiaka's spun again. Snalank is in. Jones continues. And Spivey. Now let's see. Where will Matty end up? We will follow him then. Everyone's switching to the hards, so I don't think there will be any rain. Because otherwise you wouldn't switch to the hards. Purple lap. Is it enough for Matty? He's ahead of Danos. He's in P3, sort of. If the first two do make the pit stop, but he's right behind Callum, and Callum has no temperature. And look at the difference of Matty. Matty going around the outside. Is it enough? Callum will defend. But Matty has more temperature into his tires. And Matty moves up to P4. But he's right behind Richie. Now, does Richie have enough temperature? We will have to see. But beautiful undercut from Matty there. He does have 3 lap older tires, but we don't know how much difference that will make at the end. But Richie has strong pace. Can he hold off Matty to get into the rhythm again? But look at how much Matty is closing in. Matty with the DRS and ERS, both using ERS. Who has a better straight line speed? Richie is moving across to defend, and he stays ahead as the leaders are in. So Sinful in after 13 laps on the hards, and same amount of laps as Jones, and he has to wait unfortunately for Jones there. Oh, Zawiaka picks up 3-second penalty. That is not ideal, but this is a fight. The championship leader and the one chasing after him, and this is currently 5 points gained from Richie on Matty, which would see him 34 points behind. But Callum is still following, and Danos is not that far of him as well. Goran Putner is a bit further down the grid, but Danos is close. Oh, and Matty can save that ERS because of the DRS. Goran Putner gets a penalty. And he isn't the only one, his teammate got one as well. But the 4 leaders within 1 second of each other, not the top 4 within a second, that's a bit too close. But it is a fight. Callum still hanging on to that DRS of Matty. But he can't really attack. Dennis has a lot more ERS compared to the guys ahead of him. But he needs to get past quickly if he wants to have a chance at fighting for this win. It would be amazing though, starting P15 in this main race and then climbing all the way back to the top step. But it isn't over, as Richie sets the fastest lap. He is getting into that rhythm, but is still not pushed Matty out of the DRS. And the yellow flashing lights. That is what Matty wants to see. Ooh, that wasn't the best corner for Matty. He lost 2 tenths, but he's still within the DRS. On lap 15. Dennis is not that far off. Danos will hope that Callum loses the DRS, but look at how much ERS Danos has, and that could really help him here at the end. Okay, we got as it stands then, thanks to Smith. So Matty would go to 280, Dennis to 269, then Goran 247 and Richie 243. So Richie has almost closed that gap within one race to Goran. And he would be 37 points behind, but we need to remember that Richie scored 2 extra points from the sprint. I hope you did that in your calculation, as no one else at the top did it. Did score points, but Goran Potner moves up to P5. Callum has dropped down to P4 as Danos is now up to P3. So the sort of top 3 in the championship are right behind each other, fighting for the lead with 10 laps to go. Richie still hasn't pushed Matty out of the DRS. No, it is 2 points, so I hope you did. Then you didn't do it correct. Could be my mistake. 2 for fastest lap. Let's see who does have the fastest lap then, and that is Richie. Yeah. So Richie also got those 2 points. Can Danos close in? I think Richie has more than 43 because he's on 204 right now, and he will score 40 for the race win, 2 for the fastest lap, and 2 in the sprint, so that would mean 44 points gate, so he moves to 248 if I'm correct. But it isn't over yet, as Matty is saving the ERS, and Danos still has a lot left, so that could really be a problem for... Oh, and Zabiaka is out of the race. And do we have a safety car? We do have a safety car here. Oof, interesting. And this is not helping Zabiaka. We use P5 in the championship, but also not helping Aston Martin. But this is interesting. What will these guys do? Do they switch to the mediums or do they stay out? I think if Richie switches to the medium, he will drop down to P4, but does have the better tire. In the chat then, Zabiaka telling us sliding basically everywhere. Good luck to Gore and Richie. Yeah, P5 and P1. Oh, some guys have gone to the soft tires. Interesting. I don't know which tire he will choose. Oh, Richie stays out. Oh, he almost got Matty and Dennis with it. Callum following them as well. I would have gone in, because you do have the gap to Goran, but all of them stay out. Sinful does go in, and same for Snelle Henk behind. Oh, and Jones almost ran into the back of him. But yeah, Richie knows maybe he has better pace on those hard tires than the guys behind him, so not risking anything. But if I was Callum, I would have gone in. You had 11 seconds gap. Now you maybe would have lost something, but those guys would go to the softs, and you could trigger the guys behind you. But Inorganic moves up to P7 and on those hard tires. But Richie's still in the lead. Now I do think we have a press room. No, I can't see the first division press room because I'm normally not a first division. Normally not a first division. What is it called? Commentator. I forgot the word. There we go. So I do have some little pain in my voice at this moment. And we just have to wait. Inorganic does go in then, and I think he will be switching to the softs, which is understandable. I mean, why not take the risk? But I think the safety car will restart after this lap. So, any final predictions for the top three then? What will be the final order? Can Callum get his first podium? And will Richie pick up his first win? I don't know if it's his first win in RPM, I don't think so. I'll have to see if he did anything this season. So his best this season is, I think, a P2. So if Matty wins, it will be a fourth in a row for him. That is very good. I mean, that's why he's the championship leader, but that would also be a great comeback then. So, but Richie hasn't won this season. Can he hold on? Now I'm a Ferrari driver, I might be a bit biased here, but I would love to see him win a race. Safety car continues for another lap. Now, do we see Ivor go in for the softs and take that risk? One positive thing is that Richie's ERS is full again, and that was the only thing he didn't have on Matty and Danos. They were saving a lot of ERS. If they used it, I think he would have been ahead, but you never know when the safety car will come out. Sinful for a top 5. That could be happening, yeah. Now, depending on how good the softs stay in shape, he could maybe get higher than the top 5, but we will have to see what his pace is compared to the hard tires and what sort of chaos will unfold in the final laps. And the safety car is quite slow. Matty and Danos crash and Richie wins with Goran P2. The championship. Now, I do have to say this. If Danos and Matty DNF and Richie wins, we could see, I think the top 3 win like 5 points of each other. Going into the final 2 rounds. And Goran closes in as well, so they could potentially get the, if that does happen, the championship top 4 with like very close behind each other with 2 races left. Now that would be an interesting fight. 4 drivers still going for the title in the final 2 rounds. That put me on championship, put me on first division next week as well, if that's the case. As we are waiting for the safety car comes in, and we will have, I think, 5 or 6, depends on how you see it, laps remaining. And when does Richie go? Safety car pulled into the pits, and Richie is backing up, and I think he's going now. And Matty was close behind. 2.5 tenths of a second. Oh, Richie defensive into turn 3. Oh, 2 tenths. Here's Matty. They're fighting for. Why does it give me such a bad camera? There he goes. Richie stays ahead to defend, and now Dennis is getting closer and closer behind. And Sinful is fighting, but I need to check the front. And we got a beautiful drone sort of shot for the top 3 here. Top 4 in one shot. There we go. And Danos is getting closer and closer as Sinful is now overtaken Ivor, and Sinful moves up to P7. Will Danos overtake Matty and bring the championship even closer? We'll have to see. Because if Danos overtakes Matty here, Danos would move into the lead of the championship. If he does not, he will lose 5 points to Matty. And those could be 5 crucial points near the end of the season. And Ivor is dropping back a lot of positions on the hards, and I think he's gone in, or is that someone else? No, it's Inorganic has gone in, unfortunately. Oh, Sinful. Oh, Sinful stepped around there, unfortunately, by Rusty. And he drops down to P13 then. But Richie does have the gap. Now how much ERS is he using compared to the guys behind? We are on lap 22 of 26. Richie, watch out with the ERS. Try to manage it as much as you can to hold on. Because you don't want to spend all of it in the first 3 laps of the restart. No DRS, that's the only advantage he currently has, so he could create that 1 second gap, but I don't know how much quicker he is on the straight. Maybe that's what he's trying to do, but Callum is not that far behind. Corin Potner has the penalty, which is unfortunate, but could we see Jones getting back into this race because of penalties ahead? Richie fastest lap, but it's equal to what Matty said, I think, if I saw that correctly. Yeah, because Matty also got the fastest lap, so let's see what it says if I switch to fastest lap. Oh no, Matty said the fastest lap. So Matty's a bit quicker there. A fight behind here between the Red Bull and the Haas. Oh, and Snellenker's lost it. He drops. Jones is up to P7, and that is the yellow flag. But I think DRS is enabled again. If I have time to check. Yeah, it is enabled. Oh, so Matty really could attack Richie. Richie's used a lot of ERS, and the gap is 4 tenths in lap 23. Oh, Spivey picks up a penalty as he loses a position. Jones and Rusty Orkan fighting, and Jones is ahead up to P6. Could be P5 here, back into the top 5 after that spin. Can Richie hold on? And we get the exact same situation. Richie used all of his ERS. Oh, and someone is off. It's Ivor. Rusty and Leaky fighting. Leaky moves up to P7. Nope. Rusty still holds on, but now he's gotten past, I think. Yep. Switch to the front again. Jones fastest lap. Jones is closing in on the softs. He will already get P5 with the penalty of Gore and Potner, but can he get any close to the front? Oh, Ivor retired in the pit lane. That is unfortunate. The only Alpine tonight. But Thanos can't keep up, and Callum is still holding on, but not by a lot. So the fight will be most likely between Matty and Richie for the race win. Will Matty get his 4th win in a row, or will Richie finally get the race win this season and keeps his championship hopes alive? As Inorganic now sets the fastest lap, so it takes away those 2 points from Matty. Oh, it's 4 tenths, and look at the difference between ERS. Will that help? As he's using it now. No, he's using only a tiny bit. Interesting. Jones around the outside. Goran Potner, he already will get the P5 on track after penalties, but he might want more. Oh, and Matty will see that red flashing light from Richie, and he knows he has the advantage. With Danos now finally back in the DRS zone, but he didn't get it, so he might have been behind at the detection point. But it's getting closer and closer now on lap 25, 26, the penultimate lap. Oh, 2 tenths now. Oh, Richie has no ERS left, so Matty will get this if he's close enough. Richie defends into maggots and baggots. Different lines. Oh, it's getting close now. 2 tenths, and now he's using the ERS into the hanger straight. Oh, Matty. Oh, Richie's round. Richie is stepped round up the inside, and he's losing a lot of positions here. Oh, that is so unfortunate. And he was looking at that P2, maybe a win up until the final corner. Almost, and he's dropped down to P8. But Callum is back on the podium in P3, and Denos is now behind Matty. Now, I don't know what happened. Did Matty cut him off? He could potentially get a penalty for it. Which could see Thanos win again, but we don't know. But this is not what Richie needed in the championship, because this could mean that he is out of the championship fight, in which he was very close to staying in. But that is so unfortunate on the penultimate lap there. Didn't want to give up, of course. But we are on the final lap. I mean, luckily ghosting is on, because it could have been a crash. Like, he could have been out. Oh, Richie picks up the 3-second penalty as well. It's gone from bad to worse there in the final lap. But for now, Matty will come around the final corners. The championship leader ahead of his rival. Matty wins the race in Silverstone ahead of Danos in P2, and Callum will pick up his first podium in RPM in P3. Jones a beautiful recovery to P4, and Leakey finishes in P5. Good race from the Haas and the Red Bull team. Goran Putner finishes in P6. It is Rusty in P7, and unfortunately Richie finishes in P8 after just ahead of Sinful in P9. But Rusty might get a penalty for that collision with Sinful, so it could be a few points. Spivey finishes in P10, Rosenberg is P11, Snelle Henk dropped down to P12 at the end, and Inorganic finishes in P13. I have to check what the Constructors' Championship is saying. Yeah, so I think Haas will jump. Yeah, they will jump into the lead. And yeah, that is unfortunate. But yeah, I think Haas will take the lead. Callum might get a penalty for colliding with Inorganic. Now, will his dad report his own son for the podium? I'm not sure. We will have to see. It could have been a racing incident. I haven't seen it. So we'll have to wait for the reports to come in. But for now, this is... Yeah, this is the results. Another win for Matty then. And I need to go to the results of the race. The fastest lap has gone to Inorganic. Now I think he will get extra points for that. I'm not sure. But yeah, the final results. Good race from Red Bull then in P3 and P4. Goran Potner, the only Aston Martin in P6, but he loses out to the P1 and the P2 in the championship. That's the battle for the champion. Will be between Matty and Danos, I think. Sinful at strong pace, unfortunately got tapped round. He was ahead of Jones. What could have been for him a P4. And that would have been a great result for Mercedes actually. But yeah, these are the final results. I want to thank you all for watching this race and joining me on the first division. I do have to say, very fun race from the guys. So yeah, I'm not sure if I will be back tomorrow on the championship where I normally am, because I do have to say my voice is not the best, or my throat is hurting a bit, but we will have to see. I do enjoy commentating, so maybe I will join Classy tomorrow for another sprint. But for now, thank you all for joining me here on this Tuesday night, and we will see you all back next week if you are watching the first division, and if you want to watch the rest of the divisions, you can tune in tomorrow and Thursday at the same time. Also, sprint weekends can always cause chaos, so it's very fun to watch, and I hope to see you all then. But for now, yeah, good night from me.